to the Turf and Touchdowns preview of the Breeders' Cup Mile, a race that in the past has been dominated by European runners. This podcast brought to you as well by the Iron Horse Racing stable, top class partnerships in the US and the UK. Shout out to yourself, dual winner Cyclonite, with no markup from the auction price as well. The prices that you pay are exactly what we pay as well. Go check out the Iron Horse Racing guys in the bio down below, or on screen now if we've done our jobs correctly. Let's have a look at the Breeders' Cup Mile. I think this is a very good race this year. A notable speech going over for Charlie Appleby and William Buick is 3-1. Ramachuel is 4-1. 4-1 Porta Fortuna. Diego Velazquez at 9-1. Carl Spackler is 10-1. 12-1 Johannes. 14-1 and bigger the remainder. We'll start left field. I really don't like Diego Velazquez in this spot. I don't think he's a horse that has maybe lived up to the billing that Ballydoor were hoping that he might well be. He ran in the Group 2 last time around. He beat Mutasarref. I don't think that form's really up to a great deal. If you can get him in a match bet with Carl Spackler, I think Carl Spackler's a far better horse than Diego Velazquez is. And Carl Spackler, for all that he might be drawn a bit wider on the track, he's 10-1. I think he's very much an each way play. He's looked brilliant so far this year. But if you can get him in a match with Diego Velazquez, absolutely do that. But we'll focus more on the main market now. Notable speeches, a horse who's had a very up and down year. Now, he started off over at Kempton back in January, and he sort of exploded onto the scene. He looked good back at that track once again on the second start. He looked even better on the third start, and he was thrown in the deep end in the 2000 Guineas. Now, no one really expected much of him that day. He was sent off 16-1. He was the first string, though, for Godolphin, and he won very impressively. He had a lovely turn of foot as well, and at 16-1, he caused a bit of an upset. He went over to Ascot then in the St. James's Palace. I'm not convinced he was 100% right that day. He didn't look to be striding out perfectly. He finished down the field. He was then brilliant again over at Glorious Goodwood on a day that Henry Longfellow rather fluffed his lines. And then in softer ground last time, he disappointed in the Prix de Moulin. That's a Group 1. In, again, more testing ground. I don't think that suits him at all. This ground will suit perfectly. But one horse who did perform pretty well at Paris Longchamp last time was Ramachuel. Now, longer-term fans of the Turf and Touchdowns podcast, subscribe down below to become one of those, will know that I put up Ramachuel at a big price in our Breeders' Cup ante-post view. Was 12-1 that day, so well done if you've got on at those sorts of prices. I don't think 4-1's a bad price at all. She was absolutely brilliant in the foray over in France. Beat Kinross, beat Bovatier. That's rock solid form to have as a 3-year-old, regards to this sort of level. I don't think she's an out-and-out miler as well in Europe. In Europe, a mile is far more of a stamina-sapping contest than it is over in the US, especially at Del Mar. I think a mile will be absolutely fine over in California. Even so, she was running very well over the mile. She was third behind Porta Fortuna and Opera Singer. She was obviously third when she was just run out of things late on in the 1,000 Guineas behind El Malca and Porta Fortuna. Stop that race 2 furlongs out. She is absolutely the winner. She's travelling beautifully throughout it, and you would like to think that Ramachuel over a mile in the US will very much be a player. And we have to bring into things Porta Fortuna as well. A horse who has done absolutely zero wrong so far this year and has beaten Ramachuel a couple of times, was very good in the Matron over at Leopardstown last time. Again, that was Group 1 company, beat Fallen Angel and Soprano, who will be a Breeders' Cup runner this week, along with Yalang Yalang, who was back in 4th place. I just wonder whether Porta Fortuna might come up a little bit short in this spot, just like we saw 12 months ago when finishing second in the Juvenile Fillies Turf when behind Hard to Justify. So a horse who I can absolutely see being involved in this spot, but I do prefer one or two others. The main one that I very much do prefer in this spot, though, will be Ramachuel. I think at 4-1 is still a price. Well done, though, if you managed to get 12-1 a little while ago with our anti-post view. That's our look at the Breeders' Cup mile, race 11 on the Saturday of the Breeders' Cup, and the second last race as well. We've got 13 more previews on the Turf and Touchdowns YouTube page. Go check those out. Until we next see you, stay safe. Look after one another.